Good evening. It's Monday, September 23rd, and you are watching the Convergence Report. I'm Mike Thomas on XE's TV, live stream by Knoxstrom Digital Media, right here at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator at 720 Ouellette. Tonight on the Convergence Report, we're going to take a look at the strike at the University of Windsor. President of University of Windsor, Alan Wildeman, put a letter out today. We're going to kind of take a look and see if that helped or hurt, or was it for support, or was it to find out where his support was. And I was away last week, so I didn't get to do my big update on the Waffle House called Windsor City Council, and taking a look at the by-election, and I'll have some of the names going forward and some information in trying to tie up some loose ends going forward for the by-election, and also my Facebook karma. So we'll kind of take a look at what I found on Facebook, what I saw today. You are watching the Convergence Report. I'm Mike Thomas on XE's TV, live stream by Knoxstrom Digital Media, outside or here at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator, 720 Ouellette. We'll be back right after this.
You are watching XE's TV, broadcasting live from downtown Windsor, from the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back. You're watching XE's TV, broadcasting live from downtown Windsor, from the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back. You're watching the Convergence Report, Mike Thomas on XE's TV, live streamed by Knoxstrom Digital Media. And and again, maybe my Facebook karma started a little earlier today because I kind of scanning through. I kind of had a plan of what I want to talk about. There's all kinds of great things to talk about with the Ontario PC's convention and what was going to happen with HUDAC's leadership. And I could go through it. There's that. There was the right to work. I think I'm going to address that. I kind of talked about that on some of my initial shows, but I have to bring back that next week. So as I'm scanning through on Facebook, on social media, boom, there it is. There's a letter pops up on, and it was actually where I first saw it was at windsorright.ca, and I kind of took a look. It was Alan Wildeman, president of the University of Windsor, popped out one of those letters to all his campus community, trying to address the University of Windsor strike between the University of Windsor and CUPE Local 1393. So, and that's where it kind of began. So I kind of read through the letter and I went, oh, geez, what really are the issues? What are the issues in regards to the strike? It's been 2 weeks. And I think, I want to find a little bit more myself. So we kind of took a look at what the issues are between the two entities. And it was kind of, you're kind of reading the letter and it's saying this and it's saying that. So I kind of tried to break it down into some points, and and I'm not going to call it a he said, she said, because obviously it's not a he. It's a he said, or whoever's involved in this particular set of bargaining. So if you go to my next slide, there we're going to take a look at what the issues are, and I've kind of got it. Like I said, I've got it set up so that the University of Windsor says this in their letter, and then CUPE 1393 says that. So we kind of look at the first one, and really truly it says University of Windsor, and this is directly from. Okay, this is directly from Wildeman's letter. And it said, unlike the job evaluation process, which seems to be one of the issues, as you can ask for an evaluation to your job to get a raise or to get a raise or to have at least a look at have your responsibilities changed. And it says, unlike the job evaluation process in the other bargaining groups with Local 1393, it becomes financially unsustainable. And that's directly from Alan Wildeman, president of University of Windsor. And if you look at the CUPE side, and again, it's on the slide, we've offered a pay raise in exchange for our job security. So you kind of say, okay, he said that and he said this. So you kind of try to ferret through these issues and try to say who is doing this. And that's directly from the CUPE side of it. It's directly from their website. And I'll give you the website locations at the end of this segment. So you can, if you want to go take a look yourself, you can take a look yourself. But that was like kind of the first issue. So really what? Who is saying we can't afford it, we can't do this, we can't do that? That's the university's position. And then the union's position is sincerely that we said we would freeze our wages. So we kind of say, well, somebody's not getting together with the program when they're having the bargaining. So that was kind of the first one I kind of saw, and I thought it was kind of tricky myself. So I'll look at the next one. You put my next slide up there, please, Alex. Is looking at and addressing. And again, I try not to make them too wordy, but unfortunately they become a little bit wordy. I was putting up there, they say these are good jobs. University of Windsor, these are good jobs in our community. The work of 1393 employees do is important. Nevertheless, of course, you always have to have them. Nevertheless, these large increases are in addition to what is already a very competitive compensation package for Ontario and for our community. Again, that's right from the letter from Alan Wilderman. And then you're kind of looking at the CUPE response, or not the CUPE response. Again, this is just information from their website, and it really says it's not about the dollars. We just want equal pay for equal work. We want to prevent outsourcing and contracting out, which seemed to be a big issue. They said, how would you like to call Suriname if you're just trying to get help with your University of Windsor passport? And again, that has been a big issue. That's a big issue North American wide as far as outsourcing existing jobs, or good paying jobs, making them disappear. So is that really truly what the unsustainability is? Is that really what the big picture is? Is that what they're looking at? And we said we want to stop Windsor from becoming a minimum wage part-time wasteland. And that seems to be what the focus is. Every time we seem to have an issue at the table, is you're making too much, you're asking for too much, and yet you're seeing in some of the other cases the expenditures by the University of Windsor. You're kind of saying, yeah, I can understand why you're saying you don't have any money and you can't afford to pay your workforce when you're spending money on the other side of it. So it's kind of difficult to try to put those two pieces together, because it seems like they both have the same idea and they can't seem to get it together. So that was kind of the second step. So put my third slide up there, Alex. I do appreciate it. Okay, again, between is right from the letter, right from the websites, and it's right. And it says it's the right of the union to go on strike during labor negotiations. CUPE 1393 unilaterally chose to start at the school year to put pressure on the employer, which is the University of Windsor. Again, this is right from Alan Wilderman himself. In attempting to find solutions to end the strike, we must maintain the short-term needs and must balance the short-term needs with the long-term responsibilities. So they're saying, okay, well, they're putting the pressure on us, but we're going to do what we need to do. And again, that's what happens in a strike. And it's a different world nowadays. It's not a workplace. It's not a plant or manufacturing. It's something where students are trying to go to school. The professors are still there. And so you got that crossing picket line scenario. Nobody should have to go through that aggravation. But here it was saying that CUPE chose to do this. Well, CUPE says they've been working out without a contract since April. Okay, without any sign, the administration is interested in kind of settling the deal, refused to discuss most of the proposals, even those that believe would save the university money. So why are we in a situation where they took a strategic time to take their strike, but really and truly they had April, May, June, July, and August to resolve this? Okay, so why wasn't there more emphasis put to resolve it before the school year began? What was the university's position on that? They just couldn't be bothered. Again, working without a contract, they had some legal avenues they could have used to kind of force the bargaining earlier, except and then waiting until September and saying, oh, look, the union chose to do this, and they didn't have to. Hey, it's been 4 or 5 months. When good faith bargaining begin, and when does good faith bargaining end? And I think that is something that needs to be addressed, and really and truly. So the letter kind of went out, and and why so long is they're kind of looking at it. They're talking about their evaluation process. They're saying they're spending. He says retroactive pay. In some cases, it was like $1 million to be paid in lump sum payments. And you kind of, okay, I understand that it's retroactive. Then why is the process taking so long? Why when somebody applies for this process, why does it take so long? Because the retro part of it isn't really CUPE's fault. The retro part of it isn't really the employee of the University of Windsor who's asked for it. Why does it take so long that the retro builds up to get this process done? Again, that's something, I guess, maybe that is something they need to look at within their own system so that these big expenditures don't come up and kind of mess up their budgets. So that's kind of it. Rumors. There's so many rumors, and they're both trying to address it and spend it. I would say instead of trying to spend all of bargaining addressing rumors, you should just get back to the table and try to get back to work. And it looks like you try to kind of figure out what was the goal of this letter by Wilderman today. And again, as they kind of everybody does the same thing. Did they throw it out there to see if they kind of get support? There was some accusations back and forth in regards to why the letter was put out. Was it negotiating outside of bargaining? Okay, what was Wilderman's position in doing so? Was he looking for support and figuring if I have the support, I can move forward, or was it their backlash? Because all of a sudden, from this letter that started this morning, and it was kind of on the news all day long, and that's why I'm talking about it today, that they're re-meeting, they're reconvening bargaining, actual official bargaining tomorrow morning or Tuesday morning. I believe it's 9 a.m. or it's at least going to be in the morning. So it's at least something good of the day came out of this letter, was that at least they're back to the table and talking and trying to resolve the issues. Again, many things are pointed out in the letter. One is, again, how projected, and here we go, a projected $4.8 million shortfall for the university in the calendar year 2014-2015, a whole year away. And here we're trying to address bargaining needs for 2013-2014, or for the length of that agreement. So how, projected? How can it be projected? You need to know what your funds are, and if you're already projecting a loss, why is the first people we look at are the employees that their contracts due? Why aren't we looking at cuts across the board? Why are we looking at so much expenditure, so much buildup, and then once we get through that point in time, I guess with all the extra tuition, and this is not cheap to go to university, with all the extra tuition that comes their way, that at the end of the day, they should be fine. I'm Mike Thomas. You're watching the Convergence Report. I'll be back right after this.
You're watching XSTV broadcasting live from downtown Windsor for the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and you are watching the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back. You're watching XSTV broadcasting live from downtown Windsor, from the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back. You're watching the Convergence Report. I'm Mike Thomas on XE's TV, live streamed by Knoxstrom Digital Media, right here at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator. You can see Ouellette Avenue right there behind me, 720 Ouellette. This is where we're at. Okay, and I'm back. And I just wanted to finish up, and I have one slide, I got it up there. It says, get the facts, form your own opinion. Okay, there are, it's an electronic world nowadays. It's the web. They're throwing paper out there. Everybody's doing leaflets. That's the immediate. But if you want to sit down, especially university students or anybody affected by this current labor, like this labor stoppage or this work stoppage or this strike, such a horrible word that we have to keep on using in this day and age. There's two websites. Okay, go to the university. They have their own website. It pops right up right away. If you want to talk about it, everything that's put out, all the updates, all the information. They're trying to explain their side of it, and you can also go to the CUPE website at HTTP or 1393.cupe.ca. And again, they have all their question answers. So research it, get the facts, form your own opinion, and see what really truth and who's really telling the truth. And let's hope they get this thing done so we can just get back. Everybody, everybody just wants to work. That's the reality. Everybody thinks it's like it's the 1930s or 1940s. Nobody really wants to do this anymore. If there's a reason for people to be out on strike, it's because they can't get it together, and it's normally, I'm going to just tell this is my opinion, it's normally a takeaway based scenario, and if wage freezes aren't enough and trying to maintain job security in this crazy world that we live in, people just want to know they have a job in the long term. And I think the University of Windsor that brags they are the biggest employer in the city of Windsor. I think if you call their phone line, exactly what it says. Well, okay, be the biggest employer, be the fairest employer, and let's get everybody back to work and get those students some help and get their education so they don't have to worry about crossing picket lines and stuff every day. Okay, so anyways, that finishes that one up. And really, it's either we got one CUPE, okay, 1393, and then the real big deal of the weekend was CUPE 101. It's the groundskeepers, the maintenance staff, and food service staff at the University of Windsor. They agreed to ratify a 3-year collective agreement. And everybody's very, very happy, said David Montgomery, president of CUPE 1001. Okay, and hope everybody's okay. Get the attention now to CUPE Local 1393, and let's get that done. And of course, their agreement, it's all happened really quick. It's all been ratified. Benefits, job security, and a wage increase of 1% each year of the contract. So that's really, I think, if you really got to look at the money side of it, you got Wilderman complaining about the job evaluation, where you're kind of looking at really what their target is with the 1% increases and kind of stop there, and that's your job and no evaluation. So I guess they might have some work to do in the next couple of weeks or next few days, and again hope to ratify it and get over that particular strike. The next order of business, and I do it, I apologize, I wasn't here last week, so I'm going to kind of do the quick follow-up, and I call it, I still call it the Waffle House in Windsor City Council. If Alex had put my slide up there, because they actually finally agreed to the by-election, and agreed and voted for it, so we can finally go forward. And of course, with that by-election, we've now ordered a great big stack, and what is a great big stack of candidates is really what it is. So we're kind of looking at what's going to happen going forward. All kinds of people are interested in running to effect change or to make change. So I guess we're going to kind of wait and see what's going to happen. I'm just trying to get my notes together here. If we can go to the next one, Alex, 7 for 7, I guess. And it's still early. Okay, I'll tell you what criteria you need if you think that you need to run or you can make a difference. We call it the 7 for 7. You currently have 7 candidates going forward. Angelo Marignani, owner of the Milk Coffee Bar, he is one that was the one that finished second place to Percy Hatfield at the last election or last municipal election. So okay, he has put his name in the hat. Okay, and it begins already as far. And some have out their campus or campaign and come out of the blocks pretty quick to let people know that they're out there. They want people to know that it's important. And I try to emphasize this, no matter if it's a by-election, a regular election. Okay, whether it's Ontario, municipally, or federally. Okay, all elections are important, and it's so important for people to support this, to come out. Okay, due to some of the complaints that Eddie Francis received and council members have received, that they agreed to go back and make this election to get away from the appointment process. So show them at the end of the day that you're willing to get out there and vote, even though it's December. Make it part of your Christmas shopping list to go out and vote that day. I think it's December 9th. Tom Wilson, he was a former councillor. I couldn't even tell you how many years ago it was, but he has put his name back in the hat. He's saying, you know what, I've done what I wanted to do. I've traveled where I wanted to travel. I was retired for a bit, but here I'm going to come back, probably very similar to, mind blank. But anyways, coming back out of retirement, hopefully to set Windsor straight, or Ward 7 straight. You have another one, Robin Fortier. She's a co-owner of Monty's Formal Wear. And, I think kind of looking at it, as far as she wants to get in there, affect change. It's what it is. It's, whether you talk it up all day or you finally put your name in a hat, and that's what it looked like they've done today. Some other people, and I'll kind of maybe do a candidate. Maybe I'll pick one a week as we go forward and kind of give a little bit more of a detailed brief on it, or I have some other ideas. We'll see if that works out. But Tosin Bello, he's a rental agent, and it's for that new student. It used to be the Radisson, or was the it's now an apartment building for the students, or student center, and he's also listed as a motivational speaker. And of course, he kind of runs for it. He has lots of ideas, and he's running for it, and he's ran before, and he's got his name in the hat again. And of course, we're talking about Ernie the Bacon Man. And really and truly, like when I first kind of saw that kind of in the first reports, and I said, well, they're kind of being kind of mean to him. Meeting to Ernie without using his real name, and then I was so surprised that he had actually changed his name to Ernie the Bacon Man. So he's out there, he's got his name in the hat, he's got all the ideas, and loving the same ones he had before, and he's ready to bring them forward. He brings them forward to council. Again, this council night on Monday, so he's probably going to be very active. They all should be very active if they're running. Okay, if they're running, they better be getting to the meetings, okay, and getting their input and getting on the microphone and letting them know they want to be Ward 7 councillor. Steve Farrell from Steve's Auto Shine over on Jefferson, he's put his name in the hat. Same thing. He said, you know what? I'm tired of it. I want to see if I can affect change, make a difference. That's really what. If you're tired of the, and I'm not trying to be mean, tired of the kind of the barrel of monkeys, and if you see the cartoons that are always in the Windsor Star, and you just wonder, it doesn't have to be that way. So I guess you got somebody like Farrell looking at it. And Stavros Gavrilidis, he's the owner of the Target, or the pharmacy at Target at Devonshire Mall. And again, he's putting his name in the hat. And just an opportunity to make a difference, to make change. And so I guess with 7 candidates, that's quite a bit. And really and truly, how to become a candidate, there's still time. To become a candidate, you must be a Canadian citizen, at least 18 years old, as well as a resident of Windsor, or a non-resident owner or tenant of land in the city. There's a $100 nomination fee, so it costs you $100. Filing fee to be made at the City Hall Clerk's office, and a nomination deadline is still wide open at October 25th up to 2 p.m. So if you want to be one of the hopefuls, as they call them, one of the hopefuls, there is still time, and you can have your shot. And again, it gives you about a year if you're successful, a little bit less than a year, to try to make a big difference, to effect some change on City Council for the City of Windsor, for Ward 7, and maybe that will take you to further your political career. Again, I'm Mike Thomas. You're watching the Convergence Report on XE's TV. I will be back right after this.
You're watching XE's TV, broadcasting live from downtown Windsor, from the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator. And this is the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back. I'm back to finish up it. You know what? It's Facebook karma. And as I saw that, and again, most of it's just so immediate, so fast. So you try to make sure that I try to make sure that if I catch some things, we talk about the news. I could probably talk for another half an hour. My co-producer Alex has talked about that, and if it's going to be kind of busy like this, we may look at either having to do 2 segments, okay, or 1 big segment. We might do that going forward. But I try to make sure I get some local flavor in there. A lot of things pop up. There's a lot of support that needs to be done. And whether or not, I'm just trying to find it for a minute, but the first one up there, Alex, if you could pop it up, I believe is Coach for Kids. Okay, and it's just Coach for Kids from the Unemployed Help Center. It's their 29th annual Coach for Kids. They're hoping to, we're hoping for 5,000 coats now until October 30th. So that is what we want people to do. There are drop-off locations. What happened is go into your closets. Okay, look, the kids have grown, or there's just coats that kind of just accumulated, and they're still going to be there. They're not only for kids, they're for kids, they're for teens, they're for young adults, and even for some adults if there's a need be, for new families coming to Windsor Essex County. So therefore, go through your closets. Like a lot of it's been changed. Again, I have to do it this way. I have to always say it this way. It's changed where we used to have so much large manufacturing, that great big bins we put at the door, and so many coats would be collected. And now we have to kind of do it more on an individual basis. Kind of take the initiative ourselves and collect those coats, or do a little drive, even in your own neighborhood. You be the person that picks up the coats, make arrangements. I tell you, if you call ahead, I used to do it myself. I'm going to have to maybe do my own neighborhood this year as they need be it. And what you do is there's all kinds of locations. I got them up on the screen as far as Windsor locations. Blondie Cleaners on Riverside Drive, or all the Blondie Cleaners, all locations. IXL Cleaners, Master Cleaners, and Merlot Premium Cleaners on Walker Road. All are sponsoring. What you do is you bring your coats there, kind of sort through them. Don't bring the garbage coats. If something's really not that good or it's really kind of dated, kind of just, recycle it a different way. That's the best way to say it. Okay, in LaSalle, you got Master Cleaners. Again, Bell River IXL Cleaners, Harrow Dry Cleaners, Leamington, Canopy Cleaners, Fletcher Cleaners, and Kennedy Cleaners. So you got all kinds of places in Windsor and Essex County that'll take these coats. So very, very important. Then what happens is they clean the coats. Don't wait to the last minute. If you got some coats, bring them in. If you got some coats, bring them in. And then November 2nd to the 8th, what they'll have at the Unemployed Help Center in different locations, if I remember correctly, they'll have the availability to pick up these coats, or you'll be able to go there and say, I need a boys, small, or an adult, or teens. Again, all levels of kids need nice coats to stay warm. You know what? Who knows what kind of winter with this ice age? We call the global warming ice age that we get from time to time. This is a good one to sponsor. So again, take it, come back, take a look. It's going to be posted in usually the Windsor Star. They're one of the sponsoring partners. So take a look, keep an eye out, and share. Let's try to get to 5,000. Let's try to get to 5,000 plus. So they're not scrambling at the end of the month trying to get those extra coats they need, which happens to them some years. Then my next slide, Alex, please. As far as we're looking for, are you looking for a job? Job fairs are popping up all the time. This is sponsored by BizX. It's going to be at Place Concord on Lausanne Parkway, as just off Lausanne Parkway, Forest Lake Drive off Lausanne Parkway. It is this weekend, September 29th, 2013, 11 a.m. To 5 p.m. And what they've said is bring your resume. Okay, you know what? I don't know how much they're going to help you, but if you got a resume, beef it up. Make sure it's current. Make sure it's up to date. Dress for success. Don't be walking in there in shorts and jeans with holes in them. Okay, if you're seriously looking for a job, this is an opportunity. Give it a shot. You don't know how it works. You just might hit the luck that day and press the right person, and they say, I want you. So again, September 29th, this is the Sunday. Come out to the job fair at Place Concord.
And also Windsor Business Networks is
and Windsor Business Networks also a large, they're the ones putting on, it's actually on their website or on their Facebook is where it starts. That's where I kind of, again, that's like the Facebook news, that's where I kind of grabbed it from. Yeah, so Windsor Business Networks, great. That's also an excellent, if you really want to see some jobs popping up and seeing something that you might like or might entertain, or might want to try and send a resume into, whether or not you do it by email or not. Again, check out Windsor Business Networks on Facebook, and you'll see that they're popping them up all the time. Some good job opportunities there. The next one there, Alex, as we're going to kind of, this is more for me and my son Matthew more than anything. Okay, as I've skipped a week. We had a downer week a week ago when Arizona beat us 25-21 in Arizona, and it was life was over. I think we were getting ready to sell the season tickets, and then bang on, they're going to Washington, which they hadn't won ever. I'm going to say ever, and I think it was 1937 or 1939. And I don't know what's going on with this season, but Detroit 27, Washington 20. So we broke that hex, got rid of that one, got that one under our belts, and it was a good game. Started out pretty crazy though, but it was a good game. And with that, I'll pop up my next slide there, Alex. Okay, because here it is, and I want everybody to remember, okay, that I'm the one that found Balloonapalooza's prophetic Super Bowl prediction. Lions win, and we're on our way with beating the Washington Redskins at home for the first time ever, and we got the Bears this week, and that's going to be pretty crazy. That's going to be for whoever's going to tie up that division title and get that kind of try to get that motor running and going forward. And one more kind of popped that up. I want to see that. Okay, I wanted to do this last week. And what Balloonapalooza? We had a Windsor at Balloonapalooza, okay, and for the humorous category, and it was me. Okay, Mike Thomas from the Convergence Report, okay, with my big humorous Godzilla scaring Elmo, and I was one of the winners, and I was very proud of that. And so I want to announce to everybody. So, as we're trying to finish up really quick here, don't forget, check us out on Facebook, Knoxstrom Digital Media, and Mike Thomas on Facebook. Okay, if you want to send me an email, it's writermarker@gmail.com, or even tweet me at writermarker. Please tell us what you're thinking of the show. Give me your comments, even on that first segment. There seems to be a lot of news going on there, a lot of feelings on which way it should be. So check it out. Let us know. And again, I'm Mike Thomas. You have been watching the Convergence Report on XE's TV, live streamed by Knoxstrom Digital Media right here at 720 Ouellette at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator. I will be back next week.